Hi, my name is Samantha and I'm a member of the Insight team, and today I'm going to walk you through an introduction to the Insight application. Right now I'm on the wiki page, which is a resource that I'll talk about in a little bit. Insight is a DOE web-based tool that allows multiple users to access timely and actionable data in order to help them better understand their practices and students. Insight displays data from various DOE systems related to attendance, suspension, student programming, graduation progress, assessment, and more. In most of the Insight features, you are able to add or filter by student subgroups such as gender, L status, housing status, and IEP status. You can also view school-wide trends broken down by student subgroups to fully analyze the data and any disproportionalities. Who has access to Insight? School staff, field staff, and central staff. As long as you have a role listed on the screen, you will have access to the application.
The Insight application has 5 categories with corresponding tabs across the top menu. There's a dashboard, school climate, assessments, courses and pathways, and tools category.
Beneath these tabs on the homepage are 3 different sections. The first is our feature tiles. There is one for each feature in Insight that you have access to, and by clicking on one of these, it will take you directly to that page in Insight. The second section is our news panel. This provides updates on the application, such as our latest releases and new resources. And at the very bottom, you'll find a section on helping us improve Insight. Here you can share feedback with us via an online forum and let us know how we can make the application even better. The final way to get around Insight is via the hamburger menu. Accessible in the top right corner and denoted by 3 horizontal lines, you'll find this button on every page, and from here you can navigate to every feature within the application, as well as links to a few external sites and resources related or connected to Insight. Now let's talk through some common functionalities that you'll find across multiple features in the Insight application. You'll find this button on many pages throughout the application, and it should look the same and have many of the same categories available to you across many pages. Essentially, you're going to want to first choose from one of the categories in the leftmost column. I'm going to go ahead and select from our Students with Disabilities category. Once I click here, I can mouse over to the second or the middle column, select from one of these subcategories. So I'll go ahead and click Students with Disabilities, and here you'll see that I have selected this subgroup. Now I can click Submit, and then I would be able to see all of the information on this page disaggregated by just those students with disabilities in this particular school. But I also want to show you that you can combine subgroups so that you can see the intersection of students in 1, 2, or more categories. So let's add an additional layer from the grade category. Let's add grade 5, for example. And now when I click Submit, I'm going to see all of the data on this page in this column here, the lighter blue, just for my students with disabilities and who are in grade 5. Now the second most common feature in the application are our left-hand side filters. If you're interested in filtering the list of students that you have access to view in the application, you can use these filters on the left-hand side to see a subgroup of students in your student list. So for example, again, if I'm interested in looking at my list of 4th grade students, you'll see that my number of students has filtered down a bit. We can add in multiple variables if we're interested, and you see that the number changes again. This goes for any left-hand side filter list. You'll see options displayed and the ability to combine as you need. Now the third common feature in the application is the ability to bring a student list into another feature. A student list appears on the right-hand side, and you'll see that I am able to open this list in a few different features within the application. This means that I can take a subset of students that I'm interested in looking at different metrics for and move it into another feature of the application to see that same list of students and perhaps their school climate information, which would include suspension as well as daily attendance, or perhaps in the downloader where I can download a CSV file with additional variables like a student's course schedule or their performance on Regents if applicable. So here I've opened the downloader and it has pre-selected those same 46 students that I had in my student list on the right-hand side of the attendance feature so that I can now just download information about those 46 students that I have looked at before. Let's talk about resources to help you through the rest of the application. So the first thing I'll note, if you like a webinar, like the one you're viewing right now, you can find links to one webinar for every single page within the application in the introductory text of each page. So I'm on the downloader page. Here's that link to the downloader video tutorial. It'll be just like this one, myself or another colleague walking you through this particular feature on the page. Our user guide, which you can find linked on our wiki page, is an awesome resource when learning to use the application. You can run a search of the resource by doing Control F and typing in whatever type of data you are looking for. For example, I typed in suspension, and you can sort through the user guide to see all of the mentions of this particular data point. One thing I like about it in particular are these scenarios that talk you through how you might use the Insight application in real time, in real life, and it'll walk you through those scenarios and how to answer them within the user guide. If I go back to this resource, you'll find on the left-hand side that there is one page for every page of the application, and in here you'll find business rules and information pertaining to the data on that page and any calculations that we've used to find those metrics. A last great resource, which are also linked within our wiki, is our tip guides. And you can find links to all of these resources that I've mentioned on the homepage of the wiki. Scroll down on the right-hand side, you'll find a link to resources for training. Here is the resource channel with all of our webinar videos. Here is the link to the user guide that I've talked through a little bit. And here are those tip guides that I just mentioned. These are 1 to 2 page documents that are an overview of the application for different user types like guidance counselors and staff that are supporting programming, and different situations like identifying and supporting students in earlier cohorts. You can find links to all of these resources, as I mentioned, within the wiki, and you can find a link to the wiki itself from within the Insight application, again, accessible via this hamburger menu on the top right, and it is that first link beneath the list of features. That's all for this introductory video. I hope you found this helpful. Have a great day.